Hello everyone, welcome back to the Canadian Roofing Expo. My name is Megan Ellsworth here at the RoofersCoffeeShop.ca soundstage. I'm so excited because we're here with Primeline Tools. Hey.
How's it going?
I'm so excited to hear your story from going on the roof to producing tools now.
Yeah.
And you have like a multi-million view following on social media. So can you just introduce yourself to everyone out there and tell us about the many facets of you?
Well, my name's Josh Bigger Roofing. We've been roofing for a long time together in the industry, me and my crew. It started off just banging on shingles and being a roofer and having fun, and then boredom set in after about a decade. We started making funny content to get people laughing in the industry, and it went further than expected. And then it got a lot of attraction from a lot of people because of the amount of viewership we were getting. Mm-hmm. So it led into a relationship with a tool development company, which is Primeline Tools Canada.
Yeah.
And now I'm one of their business development specialists along with their tool creator. So we've been making tools better for roofers. So I get these ideas because I've been roofing for almost 30 years.
Yeah.
And then we bring them to fruition, right?
Wow. And your kind of personal brand is the Best Damn Roofer, right?
Very rough around the edges, like alt-right. Mm-hmm. Just that, crazy roofer, right? Drinking, smoking, doing things you shouldn't, right? Ripping off the homeowner, to make you laugh, right? The roofers have a really hard job, and at the end of the day, my goal is to make sure they put a smile on their face at the end of the day.
Love it.
Okay?
I love that.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the pipeline from you putting the shingles on to being this tool developer and the Best Damn Roofer and a social media person. So what was that pipeline like?
So I've always been in front of a camera for a long time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even as I was a young kid, I liked to be a drama in school, and I was in a couple little bands. And then as I got out of high school, I got in a rock band that actually did quite well. We were on the Warped Tour. We've opened up for Blink-182. I was on the same label as Sum 41.
Wow.
Yeah, we recorded in Hollywood, so I had this big, bands thing going on when I was like 19 to 20, 25. Then but I was already into roofing. So I kind of like, middle of my career, I kind of did all this, and then I got back into roofing. So I always had an interest for doing funny videos and content, being a front man of a band.
Yeah.
So I was comfortable doing it, and I just wanted to get back into it. So I started making film, and it was maybe not a journey for everybody, but it was my own one. And it also kind of gave me the idea that I can't roof forever, so having something to fall back on. So we have a full-on production company now.
Wow.
So we do media marketing, digital marketing, commercial creation, and it's not just development of tools. I can also market the tools that we develop.
Yeah.
So,
and what was the name of the production company?
Big Time.
Big Time Production.
My last name's Bigger.
Right.
So I got Big Time.
Woohoo!
B-I-double-G.
Yeah.
My last name. Yeah.
Double G. Okay.
Big Time.
Okay, so that is so cool. I saw some of the tools you have helped Primeline develop yesterday at your booth, and the hammerhead really stuck out to me. You got the knife, you got a little hammer situation.
Yeah.
Can you kind of just tell everybody how that came about?
Well, the original roofing knife, roofers were using anyway. They see a little nail that was sticking up, they'd use the bottom of that hammer or the knife to hit it, and eventually that's what it wasn't designed for. There was an actual hinge there, so it would eventually break, right? And so we just decided to get a hammer anyway. Just put it on. They're happy.
Plus the combo.
Yeah, exactly. I'll drink all your beer, right? Yeah.
Perfect. I love it. That's just so cool. I love seeing products that are, made by someone in the industry for that industry.
Well, Primeline that's one of the things that they do for. I wasn't the first one they've done this for. I was the first one with a big social media following they've done this for. But a lot of roofers in the industry know Primeline because they've helped develop tools. There's one called the Clobberine that was made about a decade ago that I wasn't involved with.
Cool.
But it was put together by a few roofers that had the idea to get the nails under step flashing without breaking the siding and so forth. So they've always done it. We just kind of brought it to another level. So if you have a tool idea and you want help developing it, that's where we come into play as well. So
That's
it's
awesome.
pretty neat, right?
Yeah, that's so cool. I just love the kind of holistic approach, the different facets of everything you're doing all coming together in that end product. So how can people, if there's a roofing contractor out there that needs, a commercial or help with their marketing, how can they get a hold of your production company?
Well, production company, we're on social media, Big Time Productions. We're available. I think my 1-800 number is 1-800-BDR-SUCKS. So we like to catch people's attention. We're really good at getting the attention caught, right?
I love that.
So that's my number out there, so you can call it there. And
Perfect.
I think if you call it, I tell them off. But if you stay there on long enough, there's a way to get a hold of me.
Okay,
right?
perfect.
And we're everywhere on social media. A lot of people see me in the roofing industry. So
yeah, easy to find.
I partnered up with a close friend of mine who does all our videography and editing now, because with digital marketing, it's growing. We need more employees, right? We can't do it alone. So if you reach out to us, we'll take care of you, right?
Amazing. And if there are any home or building owners out here, you still have the roofing company.
Bigger Roofing, yeah.
How do they get a hold of you there?
Actually, to be honest with you, my roofing company, I don't even advertise anymore because, well, doing so well with other stuff, so I'm just like the ice cream truck. If you see me, you got to catch up and run down the street, like, there he is, right?
Hey.
So, but yeah, we're online. You can if you go to bestdameroofer.com, you can. There's all my listings are there.
Got it.
So, and don't be offended by anything I've done, right? It was all a joke.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you
for chatting with me. How can people get more involved in the Canadian roofing market and kind of what you're doing by diversifying your options?
Well, the Canadian market's a lot smaller, like per capita, right? I mean, than the American market. Of course, there's a lot more seasonal here too, right? So Florida and Texas, they're ramping all the time.
Yeah.
The Canadian market, it's slowly growing because our population's slowly growing.
Yeah.
But, and I find too, a lot of the booming areas are right beside the border. So for a Canadian company trying to grow themselves is hard work, right? Hard work and exposure. Get yourself out there. You put a video out on social media. Don't be afraid.
Yeah.
I mean, just do it.
Do it.
Yeah, because I look like an idiot all the time and it works, right? So don't be afraid to look stupid.
Exactly. The funnier the better.
Well, you need to make people laugh, right? So I always tell people when you're trying to get someone's attention online, if you're doing marketing, you need a reaction.
Yeah.
If you don't get a reaction, your marketing didn't work. So so get a reaction, and that's what we usually do.
Yeah.
Right? Even if it's a bad one, it's still good.
It's still something. Good press is press.
Yeah.
You know, one way or another. Well, thank you again for chatting with me. Everyone, go check out Primeline Tools.